is a cyclic process where you continually improve your services. Okay. So guys, basic ITIL has to be studied here. Without that, going forward would be difficult. Anyways, so yesterday I showed you a traffic diagram, correct? Guys,
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
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 So that one on one side you had your traffic which was not at all organized, and the other side was an organized traffic.
Yes, sir.
Now in this, can you identify the process breach? This is an organized traffic. You can
Yes.
identify a process breach here easily. You see
Yes.
this car. You see this car is kind of a. You see, can you see my mouse?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So this car, this car is out of the way going. It has crossed the line. It is not in the queue, proper queue. So this is a process breach. If it is an organized process where we are following the process, we can easily identify the breach and you can fix it. Okay, maybe he has to go to some doctor or maybe he has some issues, whatever. But at least you can easily manage you can easily identify the gaps or where the breach is, right? This is where the process breach comes into picture. Okay. So the main purpose of service operations is to deliver the services and support efficiently. Okay. So efficiently delivering the services is the key factor. Okay. You manage your infrastructure properly, you manage your technology, and you deliver it seamlessly. That's the point where your service operations comes into picture. And then you give your inputs to the improvement process, wherein you improve your services on a regular basis. So you generate reports, you share your challenges, your experiences. All that goes to further towards the improvement of the process. Service operation processes. Today we'll go forward with event management, incident, problem, request, and access management. These are the five processes these are the part of service operations processes. And there are functions also within service operations. One is the service desk function, technical management, operations management, and application management. Okay. So these are all part of the life cycle stages. The life cycle stages are nothing but these: strategy, design, transition, operation, and improvement. These are life cycle stages. Okay. Okay. Can everyone define me life cycle stages, please? Yesterday also we spoke about it. Today also we spoke about it. Guys, this needs to be interactive, yeah. So I have to pick up names. Who can speak? Hemant, Mr. Hemant. Good
Hello,
morning,
sir.
sir. Can you
Morning.
define me life cycle stages, please? At least name them.
So your voice is coming resound, sir.
Can you define the life cycle stages, please?
Yeah, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah, fine, sir. Life cycle stages like when the operation decide when project onboarding times like that, sir.
Life cycle stages are service strategy, design, transition, operations, improvement. SDPOI. Okay. Just, that's how I learn it. I learn it. SDPOI. Okay.
Okay.
Service strategy, design, transition, operations, improvement. Okay. So event management. We all are doing event management as a part of monitoring. It involves event detection, correlation, response selection, and then review action. Okay. So for an example, there's an event that came in that CPU utilization is running high or disk utilization is high. It has crossed 70%. There is a threshold level. We set up the alarm, correct? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Because see, guys, I tend to use it's all silence. I couldn't even understand that you guys are there or not. Anyways, so you set up your alarms, you set up the threshold limits, and then you set up the alarms. You take actions accordingly, right? So
Yes, sir.
what it helps you to enable you to detect the anomaly or detect the event, okay, and then correlate it. If it is a CPU utilization is going high, or say one load balancer is down, because of it, all other EC2s are down under the load balancer. So correlation means that if a load balancer is down, it cannot the monitoring application or monitoring system cannot monitor beyond load balancer. So if load balancer is down means anything below that will also be reported as down. However, it is not. Only load balancer is down. Not all of them are down, right?
Yes,
Getting my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Your monitoring application is trying to ping EC2s. Okay, but it is not going through because why? Because your load balancer is down. In a typical network arrangement, network server arrangement, okay, you have your interface device is down, so you cannot pass through the all other devices, so it shows that everything is down. Whereas it is not. It is just one load balancer that is down. So that correlation has to happen. Okay, that's what event correlation means. Response selection. That if an alert has come in, what should be our response? You have to select it. On 70%, your response would be to just to monitor it and raise an information that yeah, please this has gone to beyond 70%. Say a disk utilization is now 70%. You send it as an information that your disk is now utilizing 70% of the space. Please make sure that you clear up some space or log files or move some data or add more space. Okay. Similarly, you have got your correlation, your response review. Okay. Now, review is whatever action you have taken previously. Was it the correct action? Or you could have waited for some time, like the CPU load is going high. Okay. You first observe it for 5 minutes and then raise the alarm. Okay. It is the right approach. But if you are just looking into it, keep looking into it, keep looking into it, it will not go anywhere. The people who have to take action will not be able to take action anywhere. Then it becomes the issue. It comes in as an incident then. Okay, so incident is one of the direct resultant of a event. So types of events, informational events, like a backup has been completed, okay, or some user has logged into Jira for that matter, okay, or you take the email delivery receipt, or maybe say some scheduled activity has been completed, something like that. Warning events. That's where like your memory size which is a server's memory utilization which is within 5% of its highest acceptable performance level. The statement is very important. A server's memory utilization which is within 5% of its highest acceptable performance level. Any infrastructure unit has a highest acceptable performance level. HAPL, we call it HAPL, meaning that a device can perform best when it is under this load. Okay, the maximum load it can take is this much and it will be performing at the optimum level. But then it has reaches within this 5% means say a device performs very well at 65%. Okay. and current performance is 70%. So it has breached that level. And then maybe the processing of the request is running slow, or there's some issue, the quality of service is degraded. That's where we have to actually go ahead and take it as an event and make it ahead as a warning that something is going on. Okay, exceptional events where where there are security breaches, where there are some transactions which usually takes 10 seconds. Sorry, it's taking more than 30 seconds. Sorry guys, I have a very bad throat. One moment. Let me just have some water. One moment. Okay. So these are nothing but informational events, warning events, and exceptional events. Can you give me real-time examples from your daily operation activities? L1 team.
Sorry, sir.
Some examples, please, from
When
events.
we are log when we are logging into the AWS account, sir, if you give wrong password, we are unable to log in, sir. So it is example to.
That's a warning that somebody has logged in or tried logging in to the account.
Event management means setting up some threshold like we set in site 24/7.
Right.
Just like we get the CloudWatch
That's
alarms normally, like if someone unauthorized person log into the instance, we get an alarm based on it.
Correct. So how do you come up to the HAPL?
sir by seeing the load, how the load is coming and all.
Based on threshold.
So how do you define the threshold levels for any EC2 for that matter? How do you come up to that number? That 70%, 80%, 90%.
Is it based on the type of instance or the type of application the customer want to run in that instance? We set the threshold limit.
Based on the load also, sir, how much we can see, how much the particular load can come for that one.
Okay. Now there are recommendations as well. Product OEM recommendations. OEM recommendations. Your OEM is AWS here, right?
Yes.
OEM has also its recommendations. If you go through it, you will get the answer to this question. Microsoft Windows also has as a OEM has its recommendation. Okay, so you will get to this HAPL values once you refer to these OEM guidelines. You will get the answer to this question.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All the services, all products, all services, all OEMs have their recommended workloads. Okay. When it comes to say products also, you go to supermarket, you see the expiry date, right, on any of the products, food items. They have a shelf life. What is it actually saying that it is best for use before so and so date? What is that? Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you repeat once?
You go to a supermarket, you buy a pack of biscuits. Okay? On the pack of biscuit, there is an expiry date written. Or you go to a medicine shop, you buy the medicine, you see the expiry date. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
What is that expiry date?
that is validity for those particular products.
Particular product or a
Quality of
service?
that product.
Yeah.
The quality of that product may not mean that not be good after that
Valid
particular
up
date?
to the time period. Example.
Yeah. So what is that? That means that the product or a service would be fit for purpose and fit for use.
Yes.
Getting my point? Fit for
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
purpose, fit for use before that specific date or during that time period that is mentioned.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it, sir.
You see the value, where the value is getting input here. So all these things are actually interlinked. When you start working studying ITL, you have to connect the dots. Value what we studied yesterday was a type of service, but I can relate to that value in event management as well, right? Request fulfillment. I don't know how many service requests are open that are from September, October, November, December. Why? If I start looking into the report section, there are many service requests that are open since long. Why? Because it means that we have not been able to fulfill the customer's request. We are not delivering values to our customer. Request fulfillment is nothing but a set of standard and agreed services that we are bound or that we have agreed to provide to our customers. Like we have provided them 24 by 7 monitoring as a service. Okay. So it is our duty to ensure that we monitor the instances with help of tools, without help of tools, doesn't matter. But when it comes to as an agreement between the two companies, yes, Minfi has agreed that Minfi and its team, with the team will monitor 24 by 7. That everything is running fine, yes or no, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that is now that set of services from the company level. At your level, at my level, a customer has raised a request. Please restart the instance. That's a service request. Please check whether these services are running yes or no, or restart a service. Or please provide the memory utilization now. Please give us this data, give us this access, give us this level. All that comes under as request fulfillment. So provide the customer or provide information to users and customers about the availability of the services. Assist with general information, complaints or comments. Okay. So what are the activities that are involved in request fulfillment? You've got your logging and validation. Means you record the request. You take help of your Jira tool to record the request. You validate it whether it is a valid request, yes or no. A customer coming to AWS and asking that my milk is not delivered is not a valid request, right? For milk delivery, he has to call up Big Basket. He should not call up AWS support. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So request validation comes into this place. Categorization. What kind of request is it? If the request is to reset a password, or is it the request to restart a service or an EC2 or check the load balancer status, whatever. So under what category it is coming? Is it coming under access request, or is it coming under restart request or general request, or some complaint? All that has to come up as a another categorization. Then prioritization. What is the priority of that request? Meaning that how fast does he want it and why? I want you to help me understand this report. A customer comes and says, okay, I am not able to understand this report. Please help me understand this report. He has received some report and he wants us to explain him. What should be the priority of that? Or is it what would be the priority of a request that says that please reboot the instance? Which one would have a higher priority?
Reboot the instance.
Reboot the instance.
Exactly. So prioritization also has to be a major factor while fulfilling the request. Diagnosis and escalation. If you see that there is an event occurring again and again, or a customer is asking to reboot the instance every day, there must be some good reason behind it. Why? Right? Why is it happening again and again on a regular basis? So to deep dive and help the customer, you log a ticket and assign it to the next queue that this customer has been approaching to restart the instance every second day, every third day. Can you please check what is happening? Like
Okay, sir.
yesterday, Assam Cancer Care was there, right? Assam Cancer Care incident was there. For almost 1 hour,
Yes, sir.
his server was hung up, and he was not getting support or response from our team. He called me up yesterday evening that Samiran Das called me up. Shamal from my team, Shamal has been trying to reach, some people and not able to get them. So that came in as an escalation. Whereas it could have been done with help of proper communication and escalation. Internal, if not external, internal. And then resolution. You resolve and you close it. Simple. Please restart my instance. Done, sir. Thank you. Instance has been restarted at this time by this person. Thank you. Tata. Bye bye. Close it. That's it. That is your request fulfillment process overall. Okay. Incident management. सबसे बड़ा तो यही है. So, what is the purpose and objective? First of all, define an incident. What is an incident? Yesterday I told you. I need an answer, guys.
Unknown risk.
An unexpected error which is happening in the server, or
Uh-huh.
unexpectedly error comes which is we can't expect, right, sir? When it happen, we don't know, right? When incident will happen within the server. It is it is called
Uh-huh.
an incident we call.
Give a proper definition. Rephrase it.
Mm,
Sudden some problem occur which is not expected.
Unplanned
yeah.
Yes.
downtime.
Yes, sir, yes.
Right? इतने वर्ड मत खर्चा किया करो. मैं सिंधी आदमी हूँ. सिंधी लोग ज्यादा बोलते नहीं है, ज्यादा खर्चा नहीं करते वर्ड का. कम से कम खर्चे में ज्यादा काम करने का. Unplanned downtime. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So what is incident management?
Sir, how to take a solution for this?
As fast as possible.
Yeah.
Restore the services as fast as possible. That is what incident management is all about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
There is one more thing that is part of incident is reduction in quality of service. Okay. Like, for example, you have a car or a bike. Okay. First 2 years, the bike was running beautifully, no problem. After third year, the pickup is reduced, the braking is reduced, the gearbox is making noise. Vehicle is working fine, but the quality of service has reduced. Right? That is also an incident. Okay. So, what are the activities involved in this? Identification. To identify whether there is actually an incident, yes or no. Okay. But how will you, if you not even come to know that there's an incident, you will not be able to solve it. Correct? Say your server is hung up. On your monitoring session, on your monitoring screen, it shows as up, but at the back end, it is hung up. So you will not be able to, the customer is not able to log in, you are not able to log in. All you can do is restart the server. You cannot do anything else because it is hung up. You cannot do anything. Okay. Logging means recording.
Yes, sir.
Recording of the incident. What has gone wrong there? Now, if a customer says that I'm not able to log into my server, what would be your first approach? What should be your first step? I need an answer, guys, from L1 team.
So maybe issue for that they have typed wrong password.
They are not able to log in. Okay. So they, who's this, by the way? Who spoke just now?
Gautam.
So
Gautami. Okay. So they are not able to log in. Okay. They are not able to connect to their application. They are saying that they are not able to log into their application. Can you please check? Your application is not coming up. Application is down. What would you check first?
So first after that, first you have to log into the server and you have to try to restart the server like HTTP, Apache. You have to try restart
Okay.
the server and accordingly you have to check the error log file also.
Now, if a customer has reported that I am not able to log into the server, no, not able to log into the application, your first question would be which application? What is the URL? On what server is it hosted?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
These are the basic information that has to be logged in. If in case there is a problem, you have to escalate that to your second level. What will you do then? You will again take this information? No. You will take it for the first time itself. Which application? Which user? Is it being witnessed by everyone or is it just you? You have to define the scope. If it's happening only with you, then it might be a problem with your own internet,
Yes, sir.
right? So all these basic level of things, identification has to be done at the first contact. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अभी relate कर पा रहे हो? What I am trying to say that logging is important. Unless until you ask the right questions to the customer will not give you the right questions, right answers. You have to give them the right questions, a set of right questions. Only then you expect the right answer,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
Then
sir.
you categorize it. Meaning, is it a server issue? Is it a network issue? Is it a local single user issue? Is it a major application issue or database issue or maybe a web server issue? Whatever it is. You categorize it properly. You prioritize it. That which application is it? Is it a business application or a general application? Say a timesheet application. They are saying that they are not able to log into a timesheet application. Now, timesheet cannot be as important as a banking application, right? A banking application has a more importance in business than a timesheet. Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
A timesheet person will fill in maybe in month end. If it's month end, then might be a higher priority. But if it is a general mid of the month, if a timesheet is not working for 2 hours, nothing's gonna happen. Okay. You can take it as a priority 2, but not as a priority 1. Your first priority would be a business application. Okay. Anyways, so initial diagnosis and escalation. Functional escalation, hierarchical escalation. When you're talking about functional escalation, maybe you want to escalate that to your SOC lead if it's a technical issue. If it's a commercial issue, maybe you want to raise it to your commercial team or business team. Then you follow up for resolution. Either you resolve it yourself or you ensure that it gets resolved by the responsible team. And the services have been recovered or the services have been restored, business is running as usual, and then you close the incident. That's the process. The most important part here is incident identification and logging. To detect that yes, there is an incident, and then to record it properly. Yes, this is an incident with this specific application, which these many number of users, or with specific number of users at this location, at this ISP, whatever, or specific to this server, specific to this service. Okay, only then you go and dig deep into this. Okay, problem management. What is the problem? What do you understand by a problem?
Sir, which is occurring continuously. Same thing happening
Which
continuously.
is facing customer is facing any problem like that. It is any like service request. Like.
Mr. Vijay, you are the new guy here. What, according to you, is the problem? Hello? Vijay?
Can you repeat the same statement? I'm not audible to you. Yeah.
What is,
Hello.
what according to you is a problem? How do you define a problem?
So problem nothing but it's not working as desired. That means we have to
That's an,
identify
that's
why
an
it's
incident.
not working
That's an
as
incident.
desired
That's
the
an
function.
incident. That's an incident. That's not a problem. That's an incident.
Potential cause of one or more incidents, sir.
Okay.
Aha, कौन से Google से पढ़ा तुमने? Which Google you referred? Shiva.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
So is it something which we are expecting?
Huh? What is the problem?
Problem means suppose, sir, if a CPU breaches 100%, sir, maybe the server will be down state, sir. So there is a problem, sir. Then we need to restart the service again. May it will come up straight.
That is an incident, sir. That is an incident. That is not a problem. Again,
Sir,
Sir, something.
I have an example, sir. So
yeah.
Normally what happens in the recent days with Inadu, we know the server keep on getting down and Pooja already informed, like we know if there is high traffic, it will automatically the server will automatically go down. Suddenly the other auto scaling group will become up. We know the problem will happen. Don't send alert to client if the other instance wouldn't come in 10 minutes.
Perfect. That is the perfect example of a problem. So Vijay, what is the problem?
Yes, sir.
What is the problem?
Repeated incidents happening every time.
A problem is a repeated incident where you don't have a reason or a root cause or a solution. Okay? It is a problem.
Sir.
Whenever you have to identify what could be the issue, okay, till the time you don't identify the root cause, it remains a problem. It is not an incident, it is not a service request, it is not an event. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, what is the problem? Problem is nothing but a set of incidents, a reason or a root cause for a set of incidents. Okay, set of one or more incidents where you don't have a permanent fix or a permanent solution. That is a problem. Okay, where you have to find a solution. You might have a temporary fix for that. You might have a preventive measure. Okay, you might have a corrective action. You might have a preventive action. We call it CAPA, CAPA. Okay, corrective action, preventive action. And then maybe you want to have a permanent solution for that. So that's where the problem management comes into place. Mr. Kishore, Ravi Kishore is expert in defining problem management expert. Problem management root cause analysis. He's an expert in that. Right, Kishore?
Sir.
Yes, sir. How many root cause you have given till now, man? Kishore?
Root cause, like
how many root cause you have given so far?
We given most of the without document.
No, when we submit a document, right?
Yes, without RCA template, we have given a lot of. But with the RCA template, few 15, 20 like that.
Let me open up a RCL template for you guys. I should have it somewhere here. This is a root cause analysis document that is part of problem management. Okay. What you give is a problem snapshot. That where it happened, what it happened, when, where, duration, everything. Description. Then what incident it triggered. Whenever there is a problem, there has to be an incident associated with it. Otherwise, there cannot be a direct problem. There has to be an incident first or an event. Problem is not directly invoked. Problem is invoked due to some unidentified solution, due to some unidentified event or an incident. It is not directly invoked. Okay. So problem, that's where problem management comes into place. And then you have your incidents, linked incidents to that. Then what has happened, events, root cause, your corrective action, immediate corrective action, preventive action, all that comes under part of problem management documentation. Okay. Guys, am I clear? I'm going to ask questions now on all these things.
Yes, sir.
Okay, last 10 minutes, I'm going to ask questions only.
Sure, sir.
Access management. Another very important aspect of service operations, where you give right level of access to the right person. Okay. Like me, at a management level, I don't want to have access to any of the technical, technician level access. I just want billing access and a read-only access to EC2. That's it. I don't want anything else. Okay. For my level of access, I want billing access. What is the commercial and what are the services running right now? If I have to just see, that's the level of access I want. But at a level of, say, Ravi Kishore or maybe Arvind or maybe Gautami or maybe other team members, Hemant, you would require a certain level of access which should be more towards technology and less towards commercial, right? So setting the right level of access for any asset is what access management is all about. Okay, granting the access. Customer might come in that I want to have access, a root access to my account. Customer comes and says, right, I want to have a root access to my account. Customer comes in and asks, why? Whereas we say, no, sir, it is not in our control. We route it to Ravi Kiran. Why? Because root access is not given, because root access is mapped to our company commercial account. That's why root access is not given. Or even we don't have root access for most of the accounts. We might have admin accounts, but we don't have root access, correct? Then we also have, as the best practices, MFA enabled, right? Multi-factor authentication is enabled on most of the accounts. Why? Right? These are
Security.
all part of compliances and access management. Security, exactly. So this is where your policies of information security are defined. ISM. Based on ISM, your access management policies are defined. Those who have worked on in banking applications, NBFC applications, anyone? Has anyone worked on banking applications? Ever? Or SAP in production? Vijay? Vijay?
Yeah, yes.
So, have you worked on production applications on SAP? I mean, you have managed SAP, right? Hello?
Hello.
Vijay?
Hello.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible to me. Yeah, it is audible to me.
So, can you please explain me what are the policies you have experienced or set up in SAP business application? In your previous experience, in your previous organization, what are the level of accesses you have granted to users?
End users can have only their user accounts. That means that has to be evaluated by the respective functional heads, and they have to approve the same. Then we can create the users along with the respective roles and assign the same to the end users. And coming to the technical people, that means so we can categorize 3 levels. Low, that means junior level, middle level, higher level. Higher level, as you said, they can have only view access and other high level monitoring things. So junior people can have only read only access and they can able to monitor. So middle level people having the application administrator user access. That is what we can provide, and we can segregate it based on the company's policies.
Perfect. So why these policies are defined in such a way? That's where the access management comes into play. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So this is all part of service operations. So whenever you do, what are the activities involved? Request logging, verification and validation, provide the access rights, restrict or remove access rights, log and track access. Okay, so these are 5 steps that if I want to request something, there has to be a request log. Then yes, Nilesh has requested admin level access. Okay, then verification and validation. Is there an approval required? If yes, then from whom? Who will approve my access, admin level access on, say, some application or some server? Okay, so that validation happens. And then you provide the access rights or the level of access is granted. Okay, that if somebody from L1 team asks billing access, there is a request level validation that happens. It goes through approval. If I'm asking for admin level access, as a director, if I'm asking for a admin level access, even then it will go to a validation. That why do you need it? Right? You document that. And then you restrict or remove the access or add the access, and you log and track. Okay? So questions. You've got 5 minutes more. I'll ask questions one by one to the team members. Mr. Arvind. Arvind, sir?
Yes, sir.
Define value.
Define?
Value, service value.
Like, sir, providing value, providing proper value to the customer.
10 रुपए दिए मैंने तुमको, वैल्यू दे दी?
नहीं. Like proper, like we are valuing a customer, providing proper services as per his expectations, and like if any service request regarding that, we are adhering to all the protocols and managing things accordingly.
Define value. Wrong answer.
Quality and
Define
utilization.
value. Quality and
utilization. Providing quality and providing
utility.
Warranty and utility, guys. Again, warranty and utility. Value equal to utility plus warranty. Right? कल भी बोला था, फिर बोल रहा हूँ, आज भी बोला था, फिर बोल रहा हूँ. Okay. So define service. Define service. Shiva.
Yes, sir.
Define service.
Action. Providing action, sir.
Providing actions. What is that?
Means suppose if a for client requested client raised a ticket, sir. Suppose he need VPN access, sir. So we are creating VPN and giving access now, sir. It is a one type of service method.
So what is the
Fulfilling the request.
Fulfilling the request, sir.
fulfilling the request with what is the service? Yeah, guys.
Sir, helping or working for someone.
Providing solution to that particular problem of this thing. This is the what we do is the service.
Means
AWS
of
is the
delivering the
service.
service.
Delivering the value to the
That
service.
makes delivering value means what?
Providing
Okay,
solution
give me the
to
5
that
life cycle
particular.
stages. 5 life ITIL. Aniket,
Sir.
5 life cycle stages, please.
Strategy, design, operation, improvement,
And where is the T?
transition, sir. Strategy, design, transition, operation, and improvement. SDTOI.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Whom should I ask now? Next question. Sangeeta. Sangeeta? Sangeeta is here. Sangeeta, define incident, please. What is an incident? Hello? Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Define an incident. What is an incident? Nazir?
Yes, sir.
Nazir?
Yes, sir.
Define an incident. What according to you is an incident?
Unexpected things happen with an unusual things, sir. So there's in the server, then unusual things happening with the server. With a not
Unplanned event.
proper unplanned events, not a proper plan.
Okay. So what are the activities you are going to do when an incident comes in?
So we are going to investigate, sir. What alert has been come first? We need to check in the monitor and what is the threshold. It has been crossed the threshold limit or not. If it is across the threshold limit, we need to send an alert to the client as well to the L2 and L3 teams.
Okay, Ahmed.
Sir.
What are the things you are going to document in the ticket?
Document in the sense, sir?
If a customer says that I'm not able to access my application, what are the things you are going to ask and document in the ticket?
Sir, first we need to ask which application you want to access and all. And then we try to make out the note of that one, logging for that one. And meanwhile, we'll escalate to L2 team to find the solution.
We can categorize it. We can categorize that, sir. What is a problem he is facing? First,
What else? What else?
Yes, sir.
Need to take proper scope of the problem. What was the issue of complete details in one statement?
Like?
And based on that, we need to categorize the issue.
If a customer says that I'm not able to access the application,
we need to find the details of the.
What are the things you are going to ask?
We need to prove to the customer whether he is able to log in or not, and the others are not able to log in. We need to ask first, and we need to check if the server is working fine or not, and the credentials what he is going to log in. So everything we need to prove to the customer at the first question itself. Question itself to the customer.
Exactly. So, who will take up this responsibility? I want a questionnaire prepared for tomorrow. I need a name. who will prepare a questionnaire, a set of 5 questions that everyone should ask to a customer whenever there is a incident reported. What are the top 5 questions that you have to ask to any customer?
First, the server, yes, sir, the purpose
Documented
to
and
which
tomorrow.
application. Yes, sir.
Documented and share it tomorrow to everyone on the same
Okay,
session.
sir.
Okay?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Who will take that? Nazir?
Sir, I will take
No,
it.
not Nazir. No. I will tell you who will take it. Wait.
Okay.
Gautami, you pick it up, please.
Sir?
And I want a questionnaire prepared for tomorrow. Okay, set of top 5 to 7 questions that you're going to ask to your customer whenever they come back. Whenever they come, come to the service desk that I'm not able to access my server, or not able to access my incident, access my application, or I'm not able to access some specific part of the application, whatever. Top five questions that you're going to ask. First 5 questions that you're going to ask. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And one more task I'm going to give. Sunil.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you have to write down
Yeah.
a set of, you have to explain tomorrow.
Yeah.
Entire incident and access my incident and event management to entire team tomorrow. Whatever you have learned so far.
Sure, sir.
Okay?
Sure.
You have your internet.
Yeah, I
Read,
have.
study, and
Yeah.
first 5 minutes you are going to explain what is service, what is incident management, what is event management. So
Okay,
incident
sure.
and event and service management definitions, basics.
Okay, sure,
Please
sir.
be prepared tomorrow.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sir. Sure.
Right. All right, guys. Any questions you have? I'll be happy to answer.
No, sir.
No? Confirm? Okay. See you guys tomorrow.
Sure, sir.
Tomorrow is the which session is there tomorrow?
Change
Tomorrow is change management, right? Aha, maza aega. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.